We have now made it to July and it's time for another set of little acts of decluttering that you can do on a daily basis around your home. Hi, my name's Rachel. I do videos about decluttering, minimalism and my no spend year, and I came up with the little acts of decluttering method a few years ago, and I've been sharing a monthly video where I go through a small area for each day of the month that you can focus on within your home. And I also create a PDF calendar that you can download and you can tick it off as you go through each day, and it can be a way of tracking and keeping top of things. So that's available on my website declutteryourlife.co.uk, and it'll be available there for you to download for free. If you want to support me further, I do have a book that corresponds that is called Little Acts of Decluttering by Rachel Noakes, and it includes lots of different tips and tricks. It tells you my story about how I got into decluttering. It includes handy checklists as well, so you can check off different areas, as well as some goal setting pages at the very back. This is by far the easiest way I have found to declutter my home, and I appreciate that some people want to do it really quickly, but that is not always an achievable goal, and that is not for everybody. I suffer with chronic fatigue, and so for me, when I started, I had full health, well, mostly full health, and I was able to do big bits at a time, but as my fatigue creeped in, I actually had to resort to doing one little area every day, and that helped me keep on top of the clutter and reduce it down. And for anybody that is suffering with a chronic illness, having less stuff really does make life that little bit easier. It makes it easier to clean, easier to tidy, and easier to move around your home. So hopefully these little acts of decluttering will inspire you to get motivated and to get decluttering. So we have 31 days in July. Let's get straight into it. For the 1st of July, I want you to go through any spare materials like wood and things like that you might have in the shed or in the garage. Go through, be realistic. You've probably lined these up for projects, and are you going to do them? Decide whether or not you're going to do them in the next 3 to 6 months. If not, then it's time to let go. For the 2nd of July, do you have any manuals? These could be manuals for different devices. They could be for appliances within your home. Have you read them? Are they ones that you really need to keep, or are they ones that you can recycle? Remember, lots of manuals can now be accessed as PDFs online as well, so have a check first. If you can download a digital copy, that might be a way to save you from having the physical. And if you don't need to download it, just know that it's available before you dispose of the physical item. For the 3rd of July, can you go through mugs, cups and beakers, anything that you are drinking from? Go through, do you have any chipped mugs, any that are damaged? Do you have any that have the pattern faded or discoloured? Maybe they might be good ones to sacrifice. Reduce down so that you have a reasonable amount. You don't need to have 200 cups, because when are you going to have 200 people visiting? If you can tell me that you're going to have an event with 200 people, leave a comment below and tell me that they are justified keeps. For the 4th of July, can you go through any clocks or mantle clocks? Do you have too many? Have you got any that are old or damaged that are maybe in the attic or in the garage? If they're not ones that you want to fix, then they are good items to donate or recycle. If you've enjoyed this video so far, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and press like and subscribe. And don't forget to share and comment. It really does help my video to be seen by lots of other people that might find it helpful. And I'm sure they would like to get started on their decluttering journey as well. So tag Declutter Buddies below and share this video so that everybody can see it. It's very much appreciated. For the 5th of July, can you go through your handbag collection? So 2 options here. You can go through your collection, or you could just look at your handbag and go through it and make sure that you don't have any clutter within it. But if you are a collector of handbags, then maybe it's time to assess your collection and decide whether or not there are any items that you might be able to let go of, or maybe sell on for a little bit of money to help pay for your next purchase. I don't know, that's not probably the best influence, but go through and see that you have only the essentials. For the 6th of July, do you have any expired bath or body products? So have a look in your bathroom area. Do you have any that have been open for a really long time? They often give shelf life for certain things, maybe for like face washes and things like that. So if you know that you've had it open for a while, then it's probably not going to be a good thing to be putting on your face. But just check, because sometimes products can deteriorate over time, especially if they're like creamy substances. For the 7th of July, do you have any pet bowls or feeders that you're not using anymore? Maybe you've sadly lost a pet, or you don't have the pet anymore. Are there any items that you could then pass on to somebody else that does? For the 8th of July, do you have any old magazines? Maybe you are a collector. Do you want to keep the whole magazine, or could you just take out particular articles for maybe rereading or for recipes, etc., depending on what it is? Decide whether or not it's really worth keeping. These are items that you can recycle. For the 9th of July, do you have any sandals that are either uncomfortable to wear or you don't like wearing, or that are maybe damaged or deteriorating in their quality? Now is the time to let go ahead of summer and only keep the essentials that you know you're going to live in on a daily basis. For the 10th of July, can you turn off all notifications on your phone for different apps? Only keep the essentials that you need to have notifications for. I do find that this has quietened my mind and my environment. I don't feel like my phone is coming at me with lots of things to do, and I just look at notifications when I click into the apps. And that's a really good way of calming your environment. For the 11th of July, do you have too many chairs? Do you have more than you need around the dining table perhaps? Or do you have any kind of subtle chairs around that are not being utilised? They are taking up a lot of valuable space, so really consider whether or not you want to keep them. For the 12th of July, do you have any unused makeup? If they are unopened, these are items that you could sell or donate to friends or to a charity. If they are part used, then you might just need to dispose of them. But if you're not going to be using the item, should you be keeping it? Be realistic about what you would use on a regular basis. For the 13th of July, I want you to go through your TV series links and make sure that you don't have any planned recordings for things that you don't really want to watch anymore. This will free up a little bit of memory space within your devices. For the 14th of July, can you set a 15-minute timer and see how much you can declutter? Remember, this could be anywhere in your home. You could focus on one particular area, or you could do a whole house blitz and see what you can do in 15 minutes. Maybe you could grab a box and just fill it with all different things that you find that maybe you could donate. For the 15th of July, do you have any lamps that are maybe not really functioning within your environment? Maybe you use a different lamp compared to a main lamp. Decide whether or not you really need to keep all of them, and this will free up some valuable space within your home. Do you have any ones that are old ones that you have taken out of your rooms and maybe put in the attic or the garage? Decide whether or not you really need to keep them and see if you can donate or sell them. For the 16th of July, I want you to clear out the inside of your car and just make sure that there are not things that shouldn't be in there. Put everything back to their correct spaces and just make sure it's clutter-free. For the 17th of July, do you have any unused devices within your home? These are good items to try and get a little bit of money back from. As you replace new items, make sure that you sell or donate old ones so that you're not keeping hold of things that you're not really using. For the 18th of July, do you have any printers or laminators or cry cut machines that you are not using? If you've got any damaged ones, should you really be keeping them? These can be disposed of at the recycle centre. Any working devices that you've got, if you want to, you could sell these on or donate them to charity. For the 19th of July, can you go through your cleaning supplies? If there's some products in there that you don't like using and you're not likely to use, maybe donate them to friends and family, but only keep the ones that you're really going to use. I use my favourite Purdy and Fig counter cleaners, and there's a link if you want a 10% off discount code as well below. But I really love those products, and it means that I don't have to have multiple different products in my cupboards. I just have one, and that's what I use everywhere. And that really saves me a lot of time and money. For the 20th of July, can you find 20 items to declutter? So you need to maybe work in a high traffic area, maybe in the wardrobe, or maybe you have got memory boxes to sort, or maybe you've got stationery to go through, or maybe some areas in your kitchen. There will be lots of places where there are a large number of items to declutter. So pick one of those and just see what you can get rid of. For the 21st of July, do you have any old candles or wax melts that you don't like or don't use, or are part used that you're not likely to use? Be realistic about which ones you do like. I know that I've come across candles before and I've not liked the scent. So if I don't have anyone to pass it on to, I will dispose of that item safely, because I'm not going to use it if it's not a scent that I enjoy. For the 22nd of July, do you have any home decor items that you don't really like anymore, that aren't suiting your space? Or do you have any old ones that you put away and you think, actually, I'm not going to use those again? These are good items that you could bundle up and sell on to other people or donate to charity. For the 23rd of July, make sure that the console tables are clear of clutter, because they are easy traps for little bits and pieces to start building up. So make sure that they are cleared regularly of bits and pieces. For the 24th of July, I want you to consider the 90-90 rule when decluttering items from your wardrobe. And this rule is really simple. If you haven't used the item in the last 90 days, so the same as 3 months, and you're not likely to use it in the next 90 days, so in the next 3 months, then should it be in your wardrobe? That's a really good way of knowing whether or not it's suiting you, that you go for it, that you reach for it, because that still covers 6 months of the year. So that still covers many of the seasons, and it will help you know whether or not you're really utilising it in the warmer and the cooler weather. For the 25th of July, can you go through your trainer collection? Only keep the essentials here, guys. You don't need to have a massive collection. I have only got different trainers for different purposes. So I have gym trainers, I have badminton shoes, which are like court shoes, I have golf shoes, and I have white casual. So I have 4 pairs, which does seem like lots, but they are very specific reasons for them, and I only have 1 pair of casual, and they are white, so they go with everything. So think about which items that you really reach for. If there are any that are past their best, then maybe they're ones to let go of, or any that are maybe an uncomfortable fit. For the 26th of July, do you have any notebooks, maybe old ones or part-used ones that you're not likely to use? Or do you have any new ones that you haven't got round to using that maybe you could donate because you're not likely to use them? The 27th of July, do you have any water bottles that you don't really use? Maybe you've got too many. Do you have any that are making the water taste funny? Maybe they've got BPA in. So check whether or not they are ones that you use on a regular basis. They fit all your containers, or they fit in your spaces in your bike or in your car, and just keep the ones that you really use. For the 28th of July, can you make sure the kitchen side is clear of clutter? Put anything that you can away into the cupboards so that you have as much surface space that is clear. It just gives that illusion that you have space, and that it makes it easy to clean and tidy as well. For the 29th of July, do you have any old light shades maybe that are hanging around in the attic when you have swapped out for new ones? Do you need to keep them? Are you likely to use them? If not, then maybe get rid of them. For the 30th of July, do you have any old remote controls that you're not sure what they go to, or they go to a TV that you don't have anymore, or a box that you don't have anymore? Be realistic and only keep the ones that you are really using. And for the 31st of July, can you go through your decorating supplies? Are there any items in there that are damaged, that are no good, or that are cheap and broken? Only keep things that you're likely to use for projects that are coming up. These are good items that maybe you could sell on as well. So there are 31 little acts of decluttering that you can do around your home to help declutter different areas and start getting focused on decluttering and creating a calming environment. I shall be back for more videos soon. Take care. Bye.